Polestar 4, guys, it's just basically just gone on sale here in Australia and of course in America. You guys are manufacturing Polestar vehicles there in the country. Europe, I believe you guys can buy them there as well. It's actually had a price cut in numerous places. Now that there's a new CEO at Polestar, is the Polestar 4 worth having a look at, worth potentially test driving? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Guys, I want to say a big thank you to our Patreon supporters, YouTube members. Fantastic. Thank you for your support. Obviously, it enables me to do this full time, even though right now, I've got to tell you, I am a little stressed today because Shanna's in a lot of pain from radiation and chemo and stuff, and it's definitely having a little bit of an effect today. So, yeah, just trying to, go for walks and, keep the stress down. Anyhow, Polestar Australia, right? Here, the Polestar 4 electric SUV received price cuts of around $5,000 before it went on sale. That means it starts at a price of $78,500. The Polestar 4 is on sale in the United States for $56,000 US. So actually, not bad value, because this actually will qualify for EV incentives in America. What are the specs of the Polestar 4? Well, it's built on the SEA platform, like a lot of Geely company vehicles, and that means it has a structural battery pack. Very, very good rigidity when it's involved in a crash. So that's one of the key issues with Polestar. Definitely focused on safety, and they are actually very, very safe cars. The base model, right? It has the same mechanical specifications as the Zeekr 001. That gives you an idea here what type of car this is. Zeekr 001, it has rear-wheel drive, single motor, but you can also get dual motor all-wheel drive. So the rear-wheel drive, it's the same motor as the Polestar 2. So same motor, 272 horsepower. All-wheel drive is 544 horsepower. The battery size, here's where this car, you have to say, well, actually, it's not too bad value because it's got a big battery pack. It's a 94 kilowatt hour usable battery. Gross battery size is 100 kilowatt hours. That means it has 300 miles of range rear-wheel drive or 270 miles in all-wheel drive. Now that's, guys, for America. The range WLTP, it's a little bit longer than that. Range on the WLTP cycle is 620 kilometers. That's for this single motor. If you want to get the all-wheel drive, it drops to 590 kilometers. So you're still getting quite a lot of range here. What about performance? Single motor, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour takes 7.1 seconds. Dual motor takes 3.8 seconds. Big difference in performance, of course. What is the actual cell chemistry? It's an NCA chemistry, so nickel, cobalt, aluminium, I believe. Actually, sorry, no, nickel, cobalt, magnesium. And therefore, it's not a lithium iron phosphate battery. I believe the battery comes from CATL. Dimensions. Okay, dimensions are interesting. As you can see, this is not basically it's almost like, sort of like a Polestar 2, but a bigger version of a Polestar 2. It's about 5% bigger than a Tesla Model Y. Kind of gives you a bit of an idea. Essentially a size up from a Model Y, but obviously the boot size it's actually a smaller boot than a Model Y, but the interior space is actually very, very similar to a Tesla Model Y. But of course, this car is positioned more as a luxury car, and it has a very, very nice interior. That's one of the key selling points here. Here's what one of the journalists I read had to say. He said, Polestar 4 has a sumptuous, spacious interior, generous leg and hip room for both rows of passengers. The seats themselves are comfortable and highly adjustable unless you're unusually tall. I don't anticipate any driver ever finding issues with being uncomfortable behind the wheel of the Polestar 4. Now, me personally, looking at the center console, the center console is quite wide. I have a problem with the center console on the Polestar 2. For me, it hits my leg. I don't feel comfortable for that reason, but clearly this driver didn't have any issues with the center console in the Polestar 4. Now, what about charging speed? Well, I think charging speed is about the same as the Polestar 2. It's about 205 kilowatt. It's not super fast, but it's not too bad. It does support level 2 charging speeds of up to 22 kilowatts. So AC charging appears to be actually quite good. That's probably the biggest draw here. But to get that 22 kilowatt though at home, you're going to need 3-phase. So most people don't have the ability to install 22 kilowatt fast chargers. It's probably more of a moot point for most people. Now keep in mind, this is an 800 volt architecture, so it is a fairly efficient car. Weight is 2,250 kilograms, which is about 4,700 pounds, I'd say. Now pricing here in Australia is interesting. Obviously, it's actually slightly about similar price, because the Polestar 4 now starts at 78,500. Of course, much more expensive than a Model Y, but it is, to be honest, nicer to sit in, and is a little bit bigger. It is more luxurious, so that seems pretty reasonable, I guess. However, there is a bigger discount that's been put on the Polestar 4. It's been discounted by 4,700. It's now 88,350. That's, sorry, the Polestar 4 Performance. So the Performance model is 88,000. That means it actually sits under the luxury car tax threshold here in Australia of 91,400. So you don't have to pay luxury tax now on the Polestar 4 Performance version. Here in Australia, Polestar sales have gone down pretty significantly. They've dropped by 77% this year. And I don't think that's because the cars are bad. I think it's just because there's so much competition. So much competition from BYD. There's now Zeekr. There's now Xpeng. There's so many different brands coming to Australia. So I don't foresee that Polestar is going to have some huge turnaround. I do think they're going to have an increase in sales, but at this point, they are more of a niche model, of course, more of a luxury vehicle. Does Polestar have the name when it comes to luxury cars? Not really. Are they actually pretty good? I think they're actually not bad value. And driving one myself, I really enjoyed it. Other than the leg thing being a bit scrunched up, I thought it was a really nice car. And my brother and his son, they loved it as well. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching.